Hello. I've been getting so many emails this morning and people complaining and playing victims and I write them back and tell them always the same thing. But one thing I want to emphasize here, and I want to make it very, very clear that you are a soul. And I want to talk about how we abuse the soul because we don't even realize we are a soul. You know, I often say you're a human being, a being playing the human role. But that isn't quite enough. Because the being that you are is the soul, is the life that you are. So welcome to this 9th video, based this time on lessons that I received, and I just couldn't help but come in front of the camera and to talk to you about how beautiful you really are. You know, when I talk about soul, the people look at me as if they don't know what I'm talking about. They've heard the soul is talked about in all religions and philosophies and scriptures, but we still don't know what a soul is. A soul, in brief, is you. You are the soul. And there's only one soul. So therefore, there's only one life. Remember that. Okay? Because we think about so much about reincarnation and having many lives, and we forget that we are a soul. There is only one soul and there's only one life. But the thing is that the soul, before you are born, makes you choose the parents you are supposed to bear you. The country, the environment, the friends, the people in your that you'll be meeting in your lifetime, all the incidents and experiences that you will go through are all part of the script that the soul has prepared for you, for lessons that you need to learn in order to enhance it. You see, the soul is like a diamond in the rough. And a diamond in the rough has so much mud around it that you don't know it's a diamond. But then, if you start cleaning out the muck, you'll eventually come to the very center and find that the diamond has always been perfect and beautiful. And just and its preciousness. The moment everything, the dirt around it, the debris has been moved out. The soul is the same. We don't develop the soul. We evolve the soul by simply making it shine more and more as we live the many expressions of different bodies that we go through. So don't think of it as living and dying and going and through another experience. No, you're always this one soul, whether you're in the body or not, whether you're in the body of a male or a female or black or white or yellow or red. It simply doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, you're born in every gender, in every nationality. The time that you are born is also meant to be the zodiac sign that you are. And whether you are introvert, extrovert, ambivert, and then the Enneagram that you are born with will tell you a lot about you. So these are all part of the things that you need to learn about what is covering the soul. And these all come back from different experiences that you've had, which accumulate, because we are here in the body for one thing, to experience who we are, and we are a soul. And the soul is eternal, unborn, undying, and is always love, unconditional love. It's so beautiful. If you learn about you being a soul, you don't need to learn anything else. And practically each day it brings me closer and closer to understanding that I am the soul. I do not think of myself as this age, I don't think of myself as going to die, and I don't think of myself as being reborn. These are just movements that happen within the environment around the soul, but the soul itself is always you. Always you. And this is one, and when you realize this, you won't be afraid anymore to die. You won't be afraid whatever happens to you. Because you see, when you experience, and you allow all experiences that come to you to be experienced as they are, with compassion, with love, with acceptance, then that very acceptance itself and love itself is the shining or bringing forth of that diamond which you are. And it's not difficult at all. Actually, there's hardly anything you need to do. Really. It's just learn to love everything, to accept everything. And the major thing is not to judge, because every time you judge, you make it come alive. You see, most of the emails I get are about people playing victims. This is happening to me. My parents are so tough on me, or things are not working out, or my boss victimizes me, or this or that. And these are not happening by accident. These are lessons that you need to learn. But you see what we do, I get people, for example, lately I knew a young woman. She's in her early 20s. And then I found out when she came for a session that she's been taking medical drugs for 2 years for her depression, for her unhappiness. Instead of meeting, you see, when you're not happy, it means you are not living the way you're meant to be. You're out of alignment with the soul that you are. Your soul is perfect. Your soul is love. Your soul is joy. You don't need to do anything about it. You are that soul forever. The body is the covering that you get. You know, for example, not only when you pass away, the body dies and it's born in another body, but even in this lifetime. I had a child's body, and I had first an infant body, and then I had a teenage body, and then a young man's body, and then an older body. The body changed completely, but it's still the same soul. And this same soul actually doesn't feel itself growing old, doesn't feel itself changing, except that, of course, when we look at the body and we look at our environment, how people see us, we begin to see these changes. But this is all part of the illusion. Nothing can happen to you because you're a soul. Now the thing is that we abuse it. You abuse it every time you judge yourself. You abuse it every time you complain. You abuse yourself every time that you do not deal with your anger, with your shame, with your guilt, and you try to cover it up with drugs. There are drugs for everything. The pharmaceutical companies are billionaires. But you see, this is part of society, you know. You go to a doctor, a psychiatrist, and he prescribes drugs for a particular feelings, and the point is to feel these feelings, is to experience them, is to see where you are not loving yourself. Or in this particular case, in this video, where you are abusing yourself. You see? So, anyway, I didn't mean to do this a long-winded one. I just read the letters and I thought, no, I've got to come and talk to you about it. Okay, remember, you're very, very beautiful. You're unconditional love. You are eternal and undying. And think of yourself as a soul. And the soul does not grow, does not change. But what happens is that we need to take away the muck from around it so that it will shine in its glory. And the only way to do that is to love yourself no matter what happens. Because whatever is happening is meant to happen. Remember, the law of life states nothing happens by chance. There are no accidents. And so therefore whatever is happening, embrace it. And let this teach me to love more, to forgive more, and to learn. And this is the whole point. Namaste. Love you.